All right. Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. And thank you so much for joining. I'm going to let you guys come on in the room. I'm so excited for tonight. This has definitely been a long time coming. So let me know that you're here. If you're watching live, please give me a hashtag live. And if you're catching this on the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. But I'll let you all come in. And I hope you guys brought something to sip on. I definitely brought my glass. I'm sipping some sparkling rosé tonight because we're celebrating. This is a kickoff. Hey, Christine, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know who else is in the room. And we're going to go ahead and get started just in a couple minutes. Hope everyone is having a great start to the week for this good old Monday evening. It's at least the evening on the East Coast. So I know I probably have some people on the West Coast joining as well. But we'll get started in about 30 seconds or so. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and kick things off for this evening. Yes, come on, Cav. Okay, thank you, Rashida, for joining. Good to see you. And thank you for supporting. So I'm just going to kind of back up a little bit. I know I see some familiar names and faces on the live, but for those of you that do not know me, or maybe we have not connected yet, I just want to start from the basics and give you a little bit of background about who I am. This evening's live is called They Asked Me What I'm Doing. Good Lord. They asked me what I do and who I do it for. And I went to school in Atlanta, so most of you should know who that lyric comes from. They asked me what I do and who I do it for, and how I come up with this up in the studio. All I want for my birthday is and you know the rest. So that is a 2 Chainz song inspired by the one and only from Atlanta. And that's kind of what I wanted to do this evening, was really just talk about who I am, what I do, and who I do it for. And so I would love to have you all just chime in. Definitely don't let me be up here talking to myself. I would love to just have some interaction this evening and to definitely, see just if anything resonates with you, any ideas that you all have. I'll be asking for show topic ideas as well. And yeah, let's just go ahead and kick this thing off. So I want to just start off by, again, giving you my name. I am Krysta McGowan. I'm a certified image consultant based out of Georgia, currently living in Marietta. So a little bit about my background. I originally am from California, so I'll always be a Cali girl at heart. I'm from San Jose, California, and decided to take my talents across the country to Atlanta for school. So I went to Clark Atlanta University. I'm actually a double Panther. So I received my Bachelor of Arts in Fashion Merchandising, as well as my MBA in Supply Chain Management. So that's just a little bit about my educational background. I also had the opportunity to study abroad. So I went to Paris, France for a summer, and I studied fashion styling and trend forecasting, which was really amazing. That was actually my first time out of the country, which was really, really cool, but also really, really scary. But ever since then, I caught the travel bug and have been all across the world. So amazing experience. And I met a lot of amazing people that have been very impactful on my journey. Yes, come on. So we have a CAU alum in the house. Any HBCU alum, exactly. Find a way or make one. I love CAU to the core. It truly just shaped the woman that I am today. And I always tell individuals that leaving home, because people always ask me, why'd you leave California? California's amazing. And leaving California was the best thing ever to really get me out of my comfort zone. And I honestly don't think I would have been an entrepreneur if I didn't leave California, because there was not a lot of successful, I'll say, Black owned businesses that I saw growing up. When you would see a Black owned business, a lot of times they were in the struggle, and it was not an attractive or ideal situation to be a business owner, at least from my perspective. So leaving San Jose, coming to CAU was truly one of the best decisions that I ever made. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about what is an image consultant. So just kind of setting the level ground so you all can understand just what I'll be talking about over the next few weeks, what you all can expect, what I will not be discussing, just so that we're all on the same level playing field. So an image consultant, and it's kind of in the title, but is someone who consults, provides advice, tools, and resources to allow their clients to really present their best selves to the public. When we think about branding, a lot of times we think about companies and products. However, we don't consider ourselves an individual brand, and we really are, whether we like it or not. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur to have a personal brand or to even think it's important. And so, as an image consultant, we work on different areas, whether it's your wardrobe and how you present yourself, or whether it's some of the soft skills, such as your communication and how you do public speaking. Some image consultants specialize in makeup and hair. Some specialize in color or your body type. So there's so many different areas that image consultants can focus on. And so for me, I became a certified image consultant actually in 2020 during the pandemic. And I'll talk about how I got started a little bit later. But as an image consultant, I focus on the ABCDs of personal branding. And so for the people that are in the room, does anyone have an idea of what the A might stand for? When you talk about the A, B, C's, and D's, does anyone have a guess about what the A might stand for? There might be a prize, and there might not. All right, all right. Any guesses? So the A is going to be appearance. And so that could be anywhere from, as I mentioned before, your hair, makeup. For me specifically, it's going to be your wardrobe and your closet. So I focus primarily on personal styling and developing your own personal style and how to dress for that style. All right. The B. Oh, good guess, Christine. So we have appearance. What do you think the B stands for? I'll give you a hint. It's how it has to do with how you present yourself to the public. B. So we have appearance, your, what do you think the B is? I wish I had some like theme music. All right. The B is going to be, and I know there's a lag. I'm trying to wait. The B is going to be your behavior. Oh, balance. Close. So B is going to be your behavior. And that is, oh yes, good, Rashida. Sorry, I think I pulled the plug too quickly. So yes, that's exactly right. Your behavior. And that's how you show up. When you walk in a room, do you command the room, or are you slouched over? Are you confident when you walk into a room? What are you known for? Are you involved in the community? How do you carry yourself overall? And so, as an image consultant, I also consult ways to improve the way that you behave or are perceived in the public. Okay. So, now what about the C? So, we have appearance, we have behavior. And what do you think the C stands for when it comes to image consulting and when it comes to your personal brand? And this is something that we do all the time. And I'll give you a hint. It can be verbal or nonverbal. Any guesses? Oh, not confidence. Mm, not charm or charisma. So it's going to be your communication. So we know that 93% of our communication is verbal, nonverbal. It has nothing to do with the actual words that you say. So it's the visual, it's your tone, it is your body language. So your communication is very important. Um, thank you, Tasha. It's very important with how you present yourself, and again, knowing how to communicate. Okay. So that's something else that I do as an image consultant. And then the last one, so we have appearance for A, behavior, B, communication. And what do you all think the D is when it comes to your personal brand? D, personal branding. And I'll give you a hint. This is definitely something that everyone uses. Think about when you are at a conference or a networking event and you exchange information. Nope, not discipline, not delivery. Think of how you present yourself. I'll just give it to you guys. And the last one is going to be your digital footprint. So this is how you show up online. We're going to talk about LinkedIn, um, social media, how that can make or break your brand. And yeah, that's your digital footprint. So thank you all so much just for the interaction this evening. I appreciate that. And for all of the comments. So yeah, so that is my expertise as far as the ABCDs of personal branding. Your appearance, primarily with wardrobe, behavior, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself when you walk into a room, when you're in the office, as an entrepreneur, how do you show up, really? And then C is your communication, whether it's verbal, nonverbal. What body language are you using? Are you able to make eye contact? Are you confident when you communicate? And then lastly is D, your digital footprint. So thank you all so much just for the participation there. All right, so digging into just a little bit about really what inspired me to get started with image consulting. So I have worked in several different industries. So coming straight out of college, I was in a leadership development program. I was so very much interacted with a lot of C-level executives and had to learn how to communicate effectively very quickly. But throughout that experience, I learned how important it was to have your holistic package, right? So I know we're going to talk primarily about wardrobe, but just seeing how some of my coworkers struggled, whether it was doing a PowerPoint presentation or it was interviewing or just presenting an idea. And I saw how a lot of them struggled. And because of that, a lot of times their messages were not received well, or they weren't provided with opportunities. And so with me, some of those skills came naturally, but some of those areas I was also strategic and had to really think how to present my best self. And I noticed that I was being offered a lot of opportunities, even though, maybe I wasn't the smartest person in the room. However, I became the person that, a lot of times they called on if we were having a site visit from a very important or influential executive. My name got called a lot of times. I was involved with recruiting because they wanted me to be the face of the company. And it finally started to resonate with me that it's because of my brand. It's because of how I carry myself with this company. It's how I interact with executives, how I'm not intimidated um, with speaking to people who are important. That's really what it boils down to. And so because of that, I wanted to help other people. and allow them to also have the same opportunities, and let them feel more confident because they had the skills. They just didn't necessarily know how to package and present their best selves as a brand. Okay. So that's kind of how I really came up with the idea as far as an image consultant in general. Now, I didn't know what an image consultant was. I knew about, thank you, Christine. I knew about professional development, right? But I didn't necessarily know about personal branding and how to help others in that area. And so I also, fun fact about me, I am very much an introvert. And a lot of people meet me and they say, like, oh, Krista, you're so great with networking. And, I actually used to host networking events, and hopefully that will be coming back soon. But I am truly an introvert, and I am a little bit socially awkward, to be completely honest. Thank you so much, Anna. And so a lot of times I use my wardrobe or my clothing to be that icebreaker when I go to events. And I started discovering that, when I would dress up, because, I love to stand out, I love my color, I love my animal print. And I realized when I would get compliments on those items, that was an easy way for me to start a conversation. That was an easy way for me to network and now say, well, hey, someone might say, oh, Krista, I love your blazer. I love those shoes. Oh, thank you. I got them from XYZ. By the way, what's your name? Or, what type of job are you looking for? Or what are you doing here at this event? How'd you hear about it? And really, that's the conversation starter. And sometimes people don't look at wardrobe as being a tool, but it really can be. And that's something that we'll definitely cover over these next few weeks, is how to use your wardrobe as a tool when it comes to networking and standing out in a positive way, right? Because you can also stand out, but it might not be positive. Okay. So we want to make sure that we are dressing according to our personal style and our personal brand. So how I got started, and also if you all have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I will definitely try my best to get to them. So just digging into how I got started. Back when I was living in California, well, actually, when I was living in Phoenix, I was working in a manufacturing environment. I was working in a plant, and I knew that was not my long-term plan, but that was actually the role that I had landed um, coming out of my leadership development program that I spoke to you all about earlier. And what I realized was I was making great money. I was working a lot of hours, but it was okay for them. It was paying the bills, and so that was fine. And I ended up meeting with my mentor. Her name was Dr. Tamika Jones, and she actually had come into town for a basketball game. She was the athletic director for UC Riverside at the time, and they had a game playing, I believe it was Grand Canyon University. And so she reached out to me and said, hey, come on, I have tickets, let's meet up. So I met up with her at the game, and she was just asking me, like all mentors do, what's your plan? What are you doing now as far as work? And I was just letting her know, I want to get back into styling. Or I wanted to do styling. I had been working in retail in college. And also during the breaks, I was at Neiman Marcus, I was at J. Crew, and she knew that, but I wasn't doing styling when I was in Phoenix. And so she's like, okay, we just kind of let that conversation go. So maybe a year or so later, I ended up actually moving to Southern California near her. And I reached out to her, and she's like, hey, well, you're here. Why don't you style me? And that just piece of confidence really catapulted my career, or even started my career. Because, of course, I had been styling friends and family, but they weren't paying me. you know, yeah, they weren't paying me, but I was still doing the work. But it wasn't until she instilled that level of confidence in me, to really know that, hey, I can actually get paid for this. So she was such a prominent figure in California, with being the only Black athletic director at that time. And, California is very diverse. So having Black leadership at that time was very rare. And this was, I think, 2015 or 2016. So this was quite a while ago. And from there, I would do her personal shopping. I would go out and bring the clothes to her house and, do the try on hauls, get her dressed for special events. She had a lot of speaking engagements. And that's kind of how that really got started. That was my first paying client. And I always like to mention that because it's important to just give recognition to sometimes those who invest in you. She had never seen my work other than, how I dressed. So that goes to show that, sometimes when you present yourself well, that can definitely create opportunities. And so based on just what she saw from me and knowing how I was as a student and my brand, she decided to invest in me. So that's just kind of how that got started. And from there, it's been kind of history. So let's kind of transition now. And again, if you have any comments or any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. You guys, I'm using a new software, so I'm still like kind of figuring things out. So thank you for your patience. But okay, so let's talk now about who do I serve. So I talked about what I do, right? So image consultant, focus on the ABCDs of personal branding, your appearance, behavior, communication, and digital footprint, right? Now let's talk about who do I serve. Yes, thank you so much, Christine. People believe your confidence and conviction. And that's why it's so important to really have that confidence, right? And so we're going to talk about how to build that up. And wardrobe is a great way to build that confidence. And when you get dressed or when you look in your closet, it should not bring you anxiety, right? You shouldn't be second guessing yourself, especially those of you who might have a lot of speaking engagements, or you might be going to networking events, or even if you're on Zoom, because we'll talk about, showing up digitally as well. But it's important to have that confidence and that conviction, because when you don't, it definitely shows, and it just makes a huge difference. Because if you don't show that conviction and that confidence, that receiver is not going to be confident in you, right? And what you bring. So we all know about first impressions, right? We know that it takes actually less than 7 seconds for people to make their first impression about you, whether that's they want to do business with you, or they want to invest in you, or they want to have a relationship with you. Within 7 seconds, they've already formed that idea. Now, it can definitely change, but we always want to put our best foot forward when it comes to first impressions, because it's a lot harder to now change someone's mind to go from negative to positive, right? You want to already start off on that level ground. Anna asked, what were the ABCDs again? So it's appearance, behavior, communication, and digital footprint. Okay, appearance, behavior, communication, and digital footprint. Thank you. Yes, the dreaded I have nothing to wear feeling. Even though I have a closet full of clothes. And Christine, this is so common. Even after COVID, I think especially because it's kind of like we're starting from scratch, right? A lot of times, we're so used to this routine of, okay, this is what I wear to work. This is what, my signature outfit, my signature look. But COVID came in and changed the game, because a lot of companies are either changing their dress code. A lot of companies are being more relaxed, or you might be in a hybrid work environment. Or also you might have gained a couple pounds, you might have lost a couple pounds. So now you're trying to figure out, well, now I have this new body. Does your closet still work for you, realistically? And, I work with clients, and sometimes it's a very emotional process to let go with some things that no longer serve you. And so we go through a whole lifestyle analysis and really go through and talk about what is currently in your closet, and does that still serve you? Styling ourselves is often stressful, but it should be fun and easy. And keyword easy. Again, you should not walk into your closet in the morning and be stressed out, because that sets the tone of the day, right? In the morning when you wake up, or whatever time you go, you get dressed for your job, it's important to do that in a positive manner. You don't want to start your day off stressed, not confident, looking in the mirror and not feeling cute. You have to really understand what works best for you. So we're going to talk about what colors complement your skin tone, what silhouettes match your body type, and all of that is really going to empower you to really show up and be your best self. And not only that, but now equip you moving forward when you're getting dressed to know what looks good, and you'll be confident in what you wear. So thank you so much, Rashida. Anna says, being a young Black woman, I still get very insecure in my dressing and style. I don't like wearing a lot of dresses or makeup or anything. Do you think I need to change that? I'm in the sports admin management business. Absolutely not. I don't think you need to change that. And I think that, so part of the lifestyle analysis is understanding what does your day-to-day look like, right? So especially if you are in sports administration and management, wearing heels all day, you're probably always on the go. I'm not sure which sports you focus on, but if you're on the football field, I'm not going to style you in a pair of heels or even probably a dress, right? Even if you're on the basketball court. I'm a ex-athlete myself. I actually played volleyball at CAU, but it's important to understand what your lifestyle day-to-day looks like and figure out what works for you. And that's exactly why it's called a personal style, right? A lot of times we get caught up, we have so much social media, and we get caught up on trends and TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Amazon influencers and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to discover what works best for you as an individual. What colors look good on you? What silhouettes look good on you? And everyone is unique, everyone is different. And so there is no cookie cutter process, right? You have to understand what looks best for you. And so that's things that we're going to be discussing over these next few weeks. And I'm really excited just with the engagement, because I know that this is definitely something that is absolutely needed. But Anna, do not change. If you don't like wearing makeup, don't wear makeup. If you don't like wearing dresses, don't wear dresses. Figure out what's comfortable for you, because the thing is, when you are comfortable and confident in what you wear, when you show up, that shows. Okay. And always remember that when you show up, you can't fake it. So if you're insecure about what you're wearing, it's going to show. And so even with being in sports, it's important to be very confident, especially as a woman in sports. And I know we just had Black Women in Sports Day. I know it was a few days ago, I think. But so shout out to you for that. And definitely keep the comments coming. Thank you all so much for the engagement. So yeah, my superpower is curating cute, classic, and conservative looks without compromising style. So I work primarily with women who are either full-time in corporate America or entrepreneurs, who still want to show up and be cute. Corporate America, corporate style has changed so much over the years from when I first entered corporate to now. And understanding just your industry, your company culture, is so important when it comes to getting dressed and showing up at work. And now there is a huge push to bring your personal or your personality and your personal brand into the professional environment, because studies have shown that when you show up holistically as your authentic self, you perform better. And so understanding a wardrobe that also complements that is very important. If you don't like wearing suits every day, don't wear suits. Don't do it just to fit the corporate, culture, because now we're seeing that things are a lot more relaxed. We're seeing a lot more color, right? Especially coming out of COVID, there's a whole thing on color psychology and dopamine dressing, because people want to be happy, people want to be vibrant, and they want to show up in their authentic selves. I love bright colors. I love wearing animal print. And when I would go to work, that's exactly what I would wear. I'm a full-time entrepreneur now, but it definitely affects the way that you work when you show up in things that you know make you look good. Okay. My Uncle Dion, I call him Uncle, but I don't know him. Deion Sanders says, when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay good. So it's so important to understand how your wardrobe and how you show up really does impact how you show up and how you perform as an employee. Rashida says, I'm so much more at ease when I rock my own personal style versus trying to fit the corporate mold. Yes. And even looking at your headshot, Rashida, I love this hot pink blazer. We didn't see a whole lot of hot pink blazers years ago, right? I love the cut. And there was just a way that we were told to show up. And so I love it. It's giving confidence, it's giving that you truly are empowered, and people respect you for that and they treat you differently. So I love that you are confident enough to rock your own personal style because everyone's not there. But that's, I'm here to help change that. Christine says, yes to more color. Bring the weather, no matter the environment. And I totally agree. More color is definitely needed. Wearing the blacks, grays, tans, and navies every day, all day, it's just boring. And color, we'll get into color psychology, but the colors that you wear tell a lot about who you are. And not only tells people about who you are and impacts the way they feel about you, but it also impacts the way that you feel about yourself. So we'll definitely be digging into that. So thank you so much. And yes, she definitely did nail that. She looks absolutely amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. So now we're going to be wrapping up shortly, but I wanted to just tell you all. So you can work with me in two different ways. One is either I offer one-on-one services, and all of that information is definitely on the website, but I do just want to let you all know I do work one-on-one with individuals virtually as well as in person. But then I also do group events as well. So I also do corporate events, workshops, seminars, talking about these same topics as well. So that is definitely a focus that I have with just being more engaging and interactive and just coaching more people on being confident in building and elevating their personal brand. So as you all think of topics, please feel free to DM me, shoot them my way, because at the end of the day, I want this series to be about my audience and what you all want. So I don't even know if I said what the series was, you guys. I got so excited. So, as you know, this is Keeping It Classy with Krysta. Classy is actually an acronym, and we'll get into what that means at a later date, but it's my signature framework with how I work with my clients. And I'm just really excited to have this series because it's, like I've said before, it's definitely needed. And I'm just going to be talking about ways to elevate your personal brand. So again, if you have any questions, any ideas, any information that you all would like me to share with you all, please definitely let me know, and I'd be happy to share because this is my platform and I'm just ready to just share. This has been a long time coming, especially just with LinkedIn, because I finally launched my business on LinkedIn. I think August of last year, that's when I think I made my first post, and I really just love the engagement that I'm getting and just appreciate all of the thoughts and comments and everything. Yes, thank you. That's powerful. Thank you, Anna. So definitely feel free to engage with me. Excited to be elevated through your series. This was amazing. Thank you so much, Christine. So I do want to just leave you all, before we drop off, I do just want to leave you all with, so every week when I go live, and it'll be every Monday at 7 p.m. So feel free to share with a friend, with someone that you feel would definitely resonate with this. But each week I'll leave, my company is called Critique Consulting. And so each week I will be giving you a critique of the week. And so that will either be a freebie, or it might be a word of advice, or it might be just something to consider. And so, yes, Rashida, thank you. Ready for a style reboot? Let's do this. So, for this week, because it's the first one, I wanted to just leave you all with the quote. Actually, it might not even be a quote because I don't know who said this, but this is what I say. So, I'm going to give myself the credit. But I always say your image speaks louder than words. And that is essentially saying, before you open your mouth, or even when you do open your mouth, when it comes to credibility, when it comes to elevating yourself as a professional or elevating your business, you have to be sure that your image reflects the brand that you want to portray to your audience. Okay. I know a lot of times we want to say you can't judge a book by its cover, or you can't judge based on what someone looks like or what they're wearing or X, Y, and Z. But as humans, it is human nature to judge. We just do. It's natural. And that's why we have ideas and our own thoughts and opinions within the first 7 seconds of working or with looking at someone. Okay. Just to be completely honest. So that's why I always say your image speaks louder than words. And so I am looking forward to and excited about working with you all each week, sharing information about how you can elevate your style. I am going to copy in the comments a couple things. So the first one is going to be how to work with me. So a brand discovery call, these are free. So it's no pressure to work with me, but I'd like to just jump on the call and understand, what you're struggling with, and also just how I can help you when it comes to your personal brand and when it comes to your personal style. So feel free to reach out to me. Also feel free to DM me with any questions that you have. Again, also any topics that you all would love to see in the coming weeks. I'm just excited. And in my true type A form, I already literally have a year's worth of topics, but it's not about me, right? It's about my audience and what you all would like to see. So please feel free to reach out to me again. Tonight has been great. I appreciate all of the engagement that you all have given me. And yeah, if you want to book a call, I am here, and I'd love to just continue to get to know you all. Again, this is my first LinkedIn Live, and actually maybe Facebook too. So I'm streaming from 2 different platforms, but thank you all again. And I will see you next Monday. So look for that post and please share. And don't forget to like the live, please, and share it as well. Yes, style by industry. Okay, thank you, Christine. I definitely can do that, especially with working in multiple industries. Yes. Thank you all so much. Oh, I didn't share it. Style by industry, got it, noted. Thank you so much for joining. Yes, and I look forward to seeing you all next Monday. Have a great evening. Bye.